We're going to talk about tonight is going to be B.C.W's Hot Blooded. That show,
Ooh, man.
that show was something else, and not Hot Blooded. I'm sorry, Head Games. Hot Blooded is July 1st, but Head Games was something else, and it lived up to its name. We'll talk about that here shortly. Before we do, want to say thank you and give big props to those who are taking care of us. Want to say thank you to Ross, the guys from Labor 12. They're actually tearing it up on stage tonight at Jake's.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're there tonight. Yeah.
They're out there with Psycho Stick tonight. So here's hoping they have a great show. If you haven't heard the tracks, the track is called Head Rush. The album's called Monsters. Definitely check that out on all your streaming platforms. And if you get a chance to catch them live, you won't be disappointed. So big thanks to Labor 12, Ross and the boys. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this week in wrestling. It's been kind of a crazy one. We're going to hit some high points for AEW and Raw and SmackDown. I'm not going to say a whole lot about AEW today because there's only one thing that needs to be talked about with AEW. And that is the fact that Hangman Adam Page is back with the Elite.
Yep.
Called this early on. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I really didn't. I thought this was going to be a Wembley thing, but this gives them time to build up for it. Couldn't be happier about it.
Well, I'll tell you
it's
who.
definitely exciting.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you who isn't happy about it, and that is Triple H and the boys over at WWE, because they are still, at some points, it's seeming like fighting to one-up that Wembley card right now.
And I've heard so many things, too, like pertaining to, the Money in the Bank is in London, and they took Drew McIntyre off the poster this week.
So I heard. That concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, that does not sound good.
Because that's we need Drew there.
Well, let's go ahead and hit some of the high points. Like I said, I'm not going to talk much about AEW because that's the only thing that needs to be said.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same for SmackDown and just kind of touch on the one really big thing that happened, and that was Roman Reigns. Well, Paul Heyman announcing that Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are going to fight Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Night of Champions for the tag titles, which are now they're not listed as the Raw and the SmackDown titles anymore. They are now it's now one single undisputed tag team champion. Same with
Roman. Yep.
It's not two separate titles anymore. It's one title that takes two belts.
Finally giving the weight to the undisputed part, because I felt like that, showed that it was all the champions.
Well, before we get too deep into it, I've got one more thank you I want to throw out there, and I'll discuss it a little more when we get to B.C.W Head Games. But if you follow us on our socials, there's about to be some pictures going out that you guys are going to see, taken by one hell of a photographer. He's in the chat right now. It's J. Conrad Photography, our boy Josh Sehan. if you haven't had a chance to check out his work, head over to the B.C.W Facebook page. He took photos all through the Head Games show, and they're just absolutely great. So make sure you check those out. Thank you, Josh, for being in the chat tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the great pictures.
And he did my senior pictures too. So he's got a whole eclectic mix. So y'all let him know.
Also want to say what's up to Rick. What's up to Mikey. Glad to have y'all here today.
I'm also gonna touch, the matches for the World Heavyweight Championship contender. Good matches, all of them. Bobby and AJ was a great match. The triple threat match was a great match. Oh my gosh, you really, on the SmackDown side, you didn't lose with any of those people being in it. Bobby could have been in it, and it would have been okay. Edge could have been in it. I think the Edge story would have been really cool, but I really like the idea of a AJ Styles Seth Rollins match.
Oh yeah,
that was nice. I think it's going to be a good match. I will say, I feel like we got more than we should have with the AJ Styles Edge Rey Mysterio match. That was a PLE level match.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely. It was great.
That's some Triple H work right there.
Yeah, no, it was a great match. One thing that I'm wondering so if AJ Styles wins, is he on Raw now at that point?
Man, I can't even start to explain. We got the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw. We got the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown. I can't even start to explain all of that.
Yeah.
Because
we'll see how it shakes out, though.
I was like, when we get to Raw, the whole brand exclusivity deal, they played a little funny on that, and I thought it was hilarious. But we'll let Bruce talk about that.
You can go ahead and touch on it as our segue into Raw.
Okay, well, Paul Heyman was on Raw, but Paul Heyman was drafted exclusively to SmackDown, but he's carrying around his phone that has a visitor sticker on it.
Visitor sticker right on the back of it. Very funny stuff. Stirring the pot as he always does. He talked to Imperium about just getting wrenches stuck in the cogwheels that is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And also seen in a promo with Becky Lynch, saw him in the back talking to Damian Priest and Finn Balor. So the Paulus is doing a lot of networking, we'll say, out in backstage today. So there's so later in the card there was Finn Balor and Damian Priest in a tag team match. So just seeing that power and remembering what the Bloodline and when Judgment Day they had their little pact happen earlier this year, it's gonna be pretty crazy stuff.
It is.
I'm excited. Down the line, the Judgment Day will, be tag team champion.
Yes.
Contenders, hopefully winners. I think they deserve it. They've done great work.
Thanks.
What did, speaking of the Judgment Day, what did you think about Finn Balor eyeing JD McDonough? If y'all didn't bring that up, I was going to bring that up.
Yes.
I told you
that
JD McDonough reminds me of Finn Balor. I said that 3 weeks ago, something like that. And it's cool that they're already teasing that.
So while that happened, they already had it announced that a new member of Judgment Day is growing, I think was the words that they used. So then him eyeing JD McDonough, you put two and two together, it's got the fans thinking.
There's also been rumors of a fourth Imperium member coming soon.
Really?
And of course, I mean it's Ilja Drag. I don't know how to say his name.
Ilja
Dragunov. Yeah. And he's gonna come in, he's gonna join, and then eventually he's gonna turn on Gunther, and you're gonna have a 7.5 star match, and it's gonna be great.
So what was? Oh man, I already forgot his name. Hold on, I think I have it written down. Oh yeah. Mustafa Ali getting his chance against Gunther. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean,
Mustafa Ali.
I think obviously he's just cannon fodder, but Mustafa Ali's not a bad talent, you know.
No.
And it's nice to see him get an opportunity like this. You know, maybe if he does well, he will get more opportunities like this. You know, maybe not necessarily championship matches, but he is a good performer for sure. And
Oh, absolutely. And I've got to agree with Rick in the chat saying JD to the Judgment Day is a lock. I
Locked
mean,
in.
that's
Yes.
going to be a thing that
Yes.
happens. That's
For
going to
sure.
be for sure. And got a Final Flash podcast join us. Hey man, what's
Sir.
going on? Glad you're here.
So going back to Mustafa Ali, it's what I think the plan is for him is there's people that are wanting to see him get a push because he's been locked down on mid card for like 4 or 5 years now.
he requested a release like multiple times. He's requested his release, and they're like, "No, we're not letting you go."
So they're giving him the push that he's finally like needed to warrant that the company keeping him, and I think this match with Gunther like shows the start of it.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what happens at Night of Champions. I mean, we've stacked the card up a little bit. I'm personally am most excited. It's a toss up for me about which one I'm more excited about: the Brock Cody match or the Seth Styles match.
Yeah, that's gonna be both of them. I saw that. What was I gonna say? Riddick Moss. He apparently impressed so much that the reports are he impressed so much that Vince McMahon came down and said make plans for him within the next 2 months.
Oh wow!
So
Wow,
I expect to
okay.
see a Riddick Moss, storyline soon.
See there, you
Okay.
drop the madcap, and all of a sudden, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, it's looking good. I think on all 3 shows of the big brands, I mean, they're setting up nicely for what they have coming up. Look forward to seeing Night of Champions. Interested to see how that plays into Money in the Bank, because that's going to be.
Yep.
Money in the Bank's the thing that's just so
all-
shrouded in cloud right now. Like they usually have like teasers or some of the card already like fleshed out by this time, and we've got nothing about it. And plus, with the show in Wembley, like this year's definitely a wild one.
They have a rough the lineup for the Money in the Bank match was like supposedly leaked, and it's got like Finn Balor, Edge. I don't remember. I'd have to find it, but all the people on it, I would be, I'd be happy with.
Right.
But I've
In the
seen
title
that. I think, everybody's heard that. After SummerSlam, Roman Reigns is going away. He's already working very little dates. After SummerSlam, he's going to work even less. So they really have to this title, this World Heavyweight Championship. They really have to, put some weight into it. Really build it. Have some serious star power to make up for the lack of your undisputed Universal WWE Champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Rick makes a valid point in the chat. Says Money in the Bank's July 1st. SmackDown is live from Madison Square Garden on July 7th. Go ahead and put 2 and 2 together on that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Rick out here with the knowledge, man.
So I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of things I'm looking forward to, we're going to talk a little bit about our Squared Circle Pro. They've got Tornado Slam going on this Saturday night. Looking forward to that over in Lubbock at Jake's Backroom. So check out the card on this. So we've got Game Time LC Mox versus one of the Chili Boys. It's Dylan Scott's choice on which one it's going to be in a grudge match.
Nice.
You got the Only Man That Matters, Reggie Lincoln versus Aaron Harms, also a grudge match.
Nope.
Certified Go-Getter, Draven Reeves. You've got him versus Chris Watson and our boy Jeb Bingham for the Heck Yeah Radio pay-per-view championship match.
Wow.
You've got, I don't know if y'all are ready for this one. You've got Phoenix.
Ooh.
We all know Phoenix is a mass of a man.
Oh yeah.
Against Damo McCullough.
Oh man.
That match. That
If
match
there's
is going to be
a
something.
man to shut up Damo, I think Phoenix would be the one I'd put the most stock in.
Not only is that a match, that's a Lubbock street fight.
Oh man.
So I'm looking forward to that one. We got a chance, and I'll talk about that a little more here in just a minute when we talk about head games, but had the opportunity to sit and talk with Damo for a little bit. He came up and joined us. I'm going to say now, this is going a little behind the scenes, I guess you could say, because that's what we do when you're, not your average Mark. Getting to talk to Damo, you get that MJF chip on the shoulder. I mean, he's really good to talk to. I really enjoy what he does.
Oh yeah, he was great on the mic. And you guys get ready for Hot Blooded July 1st. Oh man, it's over.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too.
And you heard it right now, what we just said that got us on this conversation. Phoenix and Damo, that's just crazy that matchup's even happening.
That's gonna be insane.
So don't pop out.
We've got the Squared Circle Pro tag teams. You've got your champions, Bloodlust, Damian Blood and Lilith Blood, going up against Los Crudos in an anything goes match. Now when we went to Squared Circle Pro before, we got a little taste of that match.
I was about to say, I mean, anything pretty much went because it went. I mean, anything happened.
Yeah, it just happened anyways.
Tables were broken. It was crazy.
I'm telling you, you get Damian Blood out there, it's over. Like in a no disqualification setting, it's over. Oh man, carnage.
We've got Gypsy Mac and Nova Phoenix going for the West Texas Women's Champ match. That's going to be a good match. Like the first time I got the opportunity to see Gypsy Mac wrestle was when we went to go see Squared Circle Pro for spring break. Man, she is something else in the ring. Nova Phoenix going to have her hands full. No question about that.
Not a sentence
Nova
many
Phoenix
people have uttered ever. So
yeah, Nova Phoenix she was mean. She was a mean individual.
She was something.
There was a man sitting next to her, or not next to us, but a little over that. He got his feelings hurt a little bit by her, and I was like, I'm not going to say nothing to her. I like my feelings intact. Yeah, I'm not trying to be hurt.
All right, so I'm pulling this up. Of course, after the Gypsy Mac Nova Phoenix match, then we have the one that I know Little Guapo is waiting for, the Squared Circle Pro Championship match. Your champion, the last Maverick, Ryan Justice, against the man himself, the Love Machine, Tino Valentino.
It's tough for me because I love them both. I don't know.
I was fixing
I
to
don't
say
know who
that.
I'm rocking with on this one. Like, it's tough. It's hard.
Me personally, I'm taking Ryan Justice for this one. But I hate to say it because I love Tino, but I think Ryan's got this one locked down.
All right, so I don't even know where to go with that one because I'm going to tell you right now, one of the best matches. I think Little Guapo said it was his favorite match of the last time we went at spring break was Phoenix versus Tino Valentino. Like myself too, gained a whole new respect for Tino. So I'm looking forward to see where this match goes. Before I get to this next piece, I have to say what's up to Isaac. Isaac making it to the show, making it to the chat. Glad to have you here, brother. So with that card, listen to this list of wrestlers that are also appearing. You've got the Living Proof, Justin Taylor, JKM, Rob Boris, Miss Kath, Brian Rage, Thomas Silva making the trip to Lubbock, Stonewall Rimson, Enrique Delgato, SOS, Enclayer, Bam Bam Malone. We got to see him last time we were there.
Yeah.
You've got La Migra, which is Diablo Blanco, El Gringo Loco, Veronica Vega, Charlie 50, and then you've got Anastasia Morningstar. All of these people this Saturday night at Jake's, 50th and Slide.
Be there or be square.
Because two of us are going to be there.
Guess I'm square, ladies
What
and gentlemen.
a square.
Baby Bless, unable to be there, going to be making the long trip to Florida for his senior trip.
Yep. Last time school's going to get in the way, ladies and gentlemen, so that'll be just all wrestling after that.
looking very forward to Saturday night and
That
Squared
card
Circle
is-
Pro. That's going to be insane. And we'll, of course, myself, Little Guapo, we're going to be there. You know, stop by, say hi to us. We're gonna be hanging out, watching the matches. If I understand correctly, our boy Josh going to be there as well. Jay Conrad Photography going to be there.
And do not forget to say hi to the guy. He's going to be there as well.
Yeah,
making sure it's
the guy
running smooth.
The guy trying to make the trip out there, watch some wrestling with us. So make sure you say hi to him as well. Bruss, Rick here says have a great trip. He's going to miss seeing you there.
Oh man, yeah. I really hate to not be there. I'll keep it a book. It was so entertaining the last time I went. So and hearing this card, I'm really jealous of these guys being able to go watch it because oh man, that sounds riveting.
Well, since you're not going to be there, he's going to have to take any chair shots that come our way. Just throwing that out there.
Burden off my shoulders.
Special guest Isaac, huh?
Hey, Isaac versus the caveman guy. We could do that.
The Manimal.
Bam. Isaac, you got that.
Rick, you got it. Write it down.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Right after you finish your match with Scar, your bear hug match with Scar.
Got him.
It's already been put on the books,
I'm
man.
slipping. Well, that's all right. I'll butter myself up. I'll be all right.
What? All right, man.
And talking about Scar, now we're going to move over to B.C.W. B.C.W had their Head Games show, and it lived up to its name. From the rip, it lived up to its name. One of the guys one of the tag teams we thoroughly like watching, West Texas Kings, they come out to the ring and they apologized for getting out of the tournament to win the old school tag team championships. And so Gabriel Alexander put it all out there. He apologized to us. He didn't need to apologize, man. They put on a great match.
Yeah.
He gives the mic over to Mac the Franchise, who says that they are going to go on to be champions. They're just not going to do it together.
Oof.
I was speechless. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know what to think. Like Mac the Franchise is breaking up the West Texas Kings right here, right now, and I wasn't sure what to think about that.
So it was already from the rip playing head games with the audience, playing head games with his own tag team partner. The cherry to top it all off with this match, Gabriel Alexander won, not even the guy who proposed the match.
Well,
so it was just
what he's talking about is after this announcement, they had a match. It was Mac the Franchise versus Gabriel Alexander, but there was a twist to it because it wouldn't be Head Games if there wasn't. Our boy Mike went out there and made sure everybody understood that whoever won that match is going to go into a multi-man match on July 1st for Hot Blooded. So raise the stakes a little bit on this. The match itself was absolutely great because nobody knows you better than your tag partner.
yeah.
So they were back and forth at each other the whole match. It was absolutely awesome. Enjoyed it thoroughly. At the end of the match, they go to give a hug, and Mac the Franchise gives us the fake out, makes it look like he's fixing to hit him, and says, "Nah, I wouldn't do that." It was pretty cool.
Kept his charisma even after the tough loss like that. But like we said, it was really living up to the name with just head games amongst the wrestlers, head games amongst the fans. Like a lot of us were just like speechless off of the very beginning match because it wasn't on the card, you know.
I do want to say that after watching them wrestle, like I'd seen them wrestle before as a tag team, and they're great as a tag team. West Texas Kings, one of the greatest tag teams in BCW, no questions asked. But seeing them go at each other, that may have been one of the most interesting matches that I've seen when you put two tag team, members of tag team against each other, because they played off of each other so well.
See, me and Buddy know a lot about that. But
Yeah.
the whole Matt and Jeff Hardy, there's a good bit of that.
So, sorry, I'm getting my notes together here. After that, we had your friendly neighborhood vato, Emilio Guzman, comes out. From what I understand, he was gonna cut a promo at that point, but the War Chief wasn't having it. War Chief comes out and just wallops on him. I mean, beats him down. Didn't even let him get into the ring before he beats him outside of the ring. And, there were some questions as to what's going on there. Well, I don't know if you got a chance to see any of the promos before the show, but he had a lot to say about the War Chief's heritage.
Yeah, it was kind of.
And the War Chief was not having it. I mean, beat him down and did so ugly.
Yeah, it did him so bad that, he came home after one B.C.W outing and was like, Emilio Guzman, that's my man, till today wearing a War Chief shirt. So you saw how messed up.
Emilio, I got love for you, bro, but, it's a cool shirt.
You see how messed up that walloping was, but it was, again, just playing head games with the crowd. They were like, whoa, they got a match later on. Like, what just happened? Mike and another one of the staff members had to come and, take Emilio back to the locker room. And then 4 of the other staff members were just like sitting there, like kind of dancing with the War Chief because ain't nobody stopping that man. Like,
no, if he gets 3
waving his Emilio flag, and then War Chief came out. He's like, okay, and put it down. Hey, guy,
put it down. Come on,
done. No more.
No, it was something else. And to further the head games, our next match was, like we were talking about earlier, for the B.C.W Old School Tag Team titles. And, we're getting ready to talk about this match. It's supposed to be the Resistance and the 3-Ring Circus. And Resistance gets in the ring. We're waiting for 3-Ring Circus to come out. And the Resistance starts talking and saying, by no fault of ours at all, 3-Ring Circus couldn't be here tonight. So give us our belts. They forfeit, give us our belts. And we're thinking, what?
Yeah, we were ready to see this match.
Well, Mike runs a tight ship, and he ain't having it. He's not going to just give them the titles. No. So, and Mike, I know you're in the chat. You may have to, I'm having trouble remember the other guy's name, but outwalks first, Phoenix.
Crowd's going nuts.
Yeah, crowd's losing it when
like,
Phoenix walks
these
out.
These guys are done.
And then, and I have to apologize for not remembering his name, but he had a tag partner come out.
Great talent. It was.
Oh, it was. He's the Kansas City show off.
I can't. It makes me upset that I can't remember. It's like, man.
Yeah, it's the Kansas City show off along with the American Tragedy. So they're taking on the Resistance now, and it's exactly what you think it is. I got love for the Resistance, but come on, guys.
Yeah.
They did everything they could do to get out of the ring and away. I mean, I can't hate. I would too. Have you seen how big Phoenix is?
Yes, and the other guy, he was really great talent that I've seen from him. He was real like Mark Henry-esque. Like he was just a monster up there, just like Phoenix. So it was crazy to see both of them tag team together.
So we had them going back and forth, and felt pretty confident that he and Phoenix were about to win the titles right up until he turned around and hit Phoenix.
Yeah, he's the only tag partner.
Put Phoenix out, put him on the ground, turned around and went like this. And, Zane comes over, gets the tag, or gets the pin, gets the 1, 2, 3. The Resistance are your B.C.W Old School Tag Team Champions.
So
didn't know what to think about that. It was insane to see.
We'll have it sent out what the name of this mystery man that we can't remember is. But
and if he's watching right now, my sincerest apologies, man.
But it was great.
I forgot if I was there though.
Oh, I'm looking in the chat right now. We're joined by the one and only, the wild card himself. What's up, champ?
We ain't got that far yet.
He said his name was Darren.
Oh, yes.
Darren was the guy that was with Phoenix.
And, oh, man. Yeah, it was great stuff. And, again, like we said, playing games, head games with its audience, because why did he do it? Like, what was the point of it?
You know, with all that craziness, we had to have an intermission at that point because, damn.
Yeah.
And,
games.
we got kind of a warm welcome back. The only Paula Fate was in person live and on the mic, announcing the matches, and gave a shout out to you boys. And, if she's watching Paula, I appreciate that. Dorian Robinson.
Yes.
Dorian Robinson was his name. Was the guy that was with Phoenix. Dorian Robinson. And he's good. That dude, there were times when he'd have somebody in a headlock and just be sitting there like, hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like it wasn't nothing for him. It was great.
I'm just thinking about seeing him in like Mac Jones. What?
Mac Jones? Yeah. We're going to New England, are we?
He would kill
Mac
Mac Jones. Oh,
Yeah, he would hurt Mac Jones quite a bit.
Yeah, Mac Jones could not handle that, man. My apologies, Mac the franchise. Them two going at it, 'cause those are two just straight powerhouses right there.
Well, when we came back from intermission, we finally got the match that looked like it was going to happen earlier. We had your friendly neighborhood Vato Emilio Guzman versus the War Chief. And to say that this match was intense is an understatement.
like camping.
Like it was bad. This guy.
It was bad, like that joke.
It was
just
bad
made.
like that joke. It was intense like camping. Why do I even let you on the podcast?
Come on, man. You weren't so smart, boy. You'd be out of here. Yes, this match was wild.
It was. And the War Chief, he took all his frustrations out on Emilio, and Emilio took every bit of it. There were 2 or 3 times I thought, this is it. We're done. It's a wrap. He's fixing to pin Emilio. But as is always the case with Emilio Guzman, there is no quit. There is no stop in his vocabulary. Every time he had him down, Emilio would come back, and Emilio would come back, and Emilio would come back. And when it was all said and done, Emilio got the roll up, got the pin.
Yeah, and something you did forget to mention, Emilio hit his own entrance from the crowd, came in and got his little get back on War Chief.
Oh, he did. The War Chief
Just
came.
started.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for bringing that up. The War Chief came out and he's waiting. He's in the middle of the ring waiting. Emilio Guzman's music hits. He doesn't come out. They hit the music again, and he comes through the crowd in from the back, jumps on the top rope, and hits War Chief right off the bat. The match was awesome.
Crazy ups and downs.
Crazy props to both of them for putting on what was a great match. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Josh in the chat has it absolutely right. He picked up the War Chief on his shoulders, and I don't know if you've seen if you weren't there, if you've seen the War Chief, that is not a little man.
And
He is huge.
you seen Emilio Guzman? Real big, real buff, but not a very big man. So him picking up War Chief, pure athleticism. I don't know. You guys got to have y'all don't understand independent wrestling. It's just
It's crazy.
athletes after athletes, especially here in Loveland.
So we're gonna stop for just a second because I feel like it needs to be said. We got our boy with Final Flash Podcast in the chat saying, happy late 18th birthday to baby Bruss. Digging the shirt. Welcome to adulthood.
Boom.
Yeah, that was a birthday present from your sister, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Well, I'm ripping it today, but not too happy with this whole adulting thing. But can't
Welcome to it, boy.
can't say I'm doing too bad. You get to hear me on the podcast and see me, and then you got this other guy over here. Yeah. So.
All right, so it looks like we're having a couple of issues.
Oh my gosh. All
Oh,
right.
there we
Yeah,
go.
there
Now
we
we
go.
got some
Told you,
sound.
I'm adulting better than him already.
All right. Hunter, say ass.
What?
Say ass.
No.
You're an adult. Come on. Don't be scared.
You're an adult. You can say ass now.
No.
See, he's being a good boy. All right, so we're gonna keep going through the card here. All right, so the next match was one that I was looking forward to. You had Lilith Blood and Princess Deathwish. Now, Princess Deathwish came out first, and when I tell you her entrance is awesome. Their entrance is absolutely great.
Yeah, they were awesome coming in, and oh man, it was
So Princess Deathwish makes it to the ring. Lilith Blood comes out with Damien, of course, and Damien is just fired up. I mean, he's slapping the ring. He's got the crowd fired up. It's great. Princess Deathwish shuts it down, shuts everybody up, falls to the mat, and does princess push-ups, and it was awesome.
So Princess Deathwish with her entrance, I was kind of drawing a blank there. It was amazing. Great crowd control from her. She came out and just everybody was hating on her because they didn't want to go against Lilith Blood because the fans just love Bloodlust.
Oh, absolutely.
So seeing that and then seeing Damian Blood come in being all loud, like getting the crowd hype after like being all mad. Oh man, great dynamic for sure from the both of them. It
was great having Damien out there just riling the crowd up and Princess Deathwish turning it around, telling them to shut up, telling them, not be a part of, quiet down, all that. It was, the crowd interaction was top notch, and the match was too. I mean, it was very back and forth.
I think Mike did a great job booking that match because Princess Deathwish really got to like let her heel side shine a little bit, going up against a big name like Lilith Blood. So even though, I mean, obviously, like no one thought that Princess Deathwish was going to win, but she made herself look like she could. So that's gonna be good for her in the future. Now, I noticed we just lost our +1 over here. So
yeah, having a few problems with connection with Little Guapo. He'll be back here shortly.
But hey, we're still here.
We're gonna keep it going though, and talk about towards the end of that match. Like I said, great match. Both Princess Deathwish and Lilith Blood put on an amazing match. Sure. But towards the end of it, out walks Alton Black. Now, in this card, you've got a grudge match between Alton Black and Damian Blood. And as soon as Alton Black walked out, Damian Blood was face to face with him. And it took us right into our next match. They got in the ring and it was shot for shot. It was everything you think a grudge match should be.
So Mike came and talked to us intermittently through the podcast that we had 2 weeks ago during Head Games, and he came up and told us. I don't remember the exact height, but he came and told us they're both like 6, I think 3 or 6'5", one of the two men that are like the same like weight range, just going at each other with all that they got because that's who they are as wrestlers, and it was wild to witness.
Now, one of the things that was misunderstood by myself was, yes, it's a grudge match, but there are rules. There are no weapons. The rules still apply to this match. And so one of the things that happened through the match, like I said, they're in the middle of the ring, just shot for shot. Alton Black would throw a punch. Damian Blood comes right back with the punch, just back and forth, back and forth. Well, if you've ever seen Alton Black, he doesn't go very far without his baseball bat. Mm. And that baseball bat made an entrance. They were trying to, they were going back and forth over who was going to have it, and the ref got pushed. Called the match.
Just right there.
Yeah, called the match because the ref got touched. We were not thrilled about that, not happy about it at all. But Mike made it all better, went into the ring, and made it known that July 1st at Hot Blooded, Alton Black versus Damian Blood, it's all or nothing. It's no holds barred. It's
what we got to see, just didn't get. And look, the prodigal son has returned. Took you long enough.
My phone was at 10%, and I looked and it was at 10%, and then it was dead. So,
so you're good now.
That's excuses. That's what I'm hearing. Anyways,
I was trying to go the whole time with the headphones, and it didn't work. So,
well, Alton Black, Damian Blood, they're going to have a no holds barred match, like weapons, blood, tables, rubber chickens, whatever.
Whatever.
It's all allowed.
The sock might even make an entrance.
So we also had Scar come out for with a mystery opponent. I missed this match. This was the match right after intermission. And it was much to my chagrin that after Scar came out, we heard some music hit, some very familiar music, sounded a whole lot like the Macho Man. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And out walks a man dressed in the Macho Man's clothes, got the headband, got the glasses. I'm excited. It's got Wolf across. It's the Macho Man. I believe his name is Macho Man Chris Wolf. So he gets in the ring, and that's Scar's mystery opponent for the Bear Hug Challenge, and Scar is ready. Scar's in the ring, and Scar is a big man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would not want to get the bear hug like Little Guapo is going to get at any time.
It's Sunday. No.
But so he's in the ring, and he starts talking to him, says, you know what? And he sounds like the Macho Man. He's like, you know what, brother? And it was so good.
This hilarious little spot, Scar's manager was going around just like clowning the fans because, they all hate him. And when Macho Man Chris Wolf comes out, he sits there and so the manager was like, y'all guys keep booing, I'm going to leave. So they kept booing, because they didn't want him there. And then he was like, you know what? I'm tired of this booing. I'm going to leave. And Chris Wolf is like,
you're going nowhere.
Oh, man.
I mean, he had the Macho Man voice down perfect.
You
know where you're going? You're going nowhere. It was so good. And as I'm watching this, being the wrestling historian, I guess you could say, being the elder statesman of our group, I was excited because I'm waiting for him to get up on the rope and drop the elbow because he's got the Macho Man going on. But does he do that? No.
What he
does instead is he does some rumble bumble punches and drops the bionic elbow on Scar. It was great.
Some double throwback action, right?
Throwing back to the American Dream himself. That match was awesome. Scar, of course, ends up getting him in a bear hug, and I can't say that Scar is wrong because he's said over and over again that there's not a man alive that can withstand his bear hug. And to this point, I've not seen anyone be able to make it through that bear hug. And this was the case for the Macho Man Chris Wolf. He got the bear hug and got the loss. Our boy Scar with the W.
Like he had it planned out. So the real question then becomes, can he beat Goku though?
Can he beat what?
No, I'm joking. So I'm just trying to stir the pot so that Buddy,
Sarah says no.
No, we can't. When Buddy gets his fair share of the bear hug, he knows what's coming.
You're okay. I don't know if he's watching live, but it spoke with Scar a little earlier today, and I know he's going to be watching the podcast a little later on. He's doing a little training right now. But there you heard it, Scar. He said he's going to break out of it. Like live on the podcast. He said he can break out of your podcast, or break out of your bear hug. So when see it.
Clip it.
When you see this, now you know what he looks like.
Oh man. Where do I pull up a mugshot?
This took us into the match. One that I was looking forward to. Always a pleasure to watch our boy, the living proof, Justin Taylor, enter the ring. And he did so in true Justin Taylor style, waving his flag, talking to all the kids, interacting with the crowd. He is the total package. Oh, no, I know everybody thinks that's Lex Luger, but no, it's Justin Taylor. Justin Taylor is the total package. And so he comes out and the music hits and out walks Damo McCullough. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to see Damo wrestle before, so I was looking forward to this, and it didn't disappoint. He made it known fairly early to the crowd that he doesn't really care about them. He's not there for them at all, and didn't have a problem making sure they knew that.
Now, if correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe This was his BCW debut match.
It was, in fact, his
So-
BCW debut.
And immediately came out just knocking on West Texas, Just like, man,
Yeah,
'cause
he-
he's from Dallas. He's the big Dallas
from
guy.
Dallas.
Out from North Texas. So when he's out here in dusty West Texas, he don't like anybody. So from the rip, him getting outside, he's got this giant cowbell on a rope. He's swinging around. He's just like, man, it's nice and dusty out here. I'm tired of all you West Texas boys,
And we're going to talk a little more about what Damo had to say about West Texas.
Yeah.
But this match was everything I hoped it would be. Damo McCullough gave okay, I've got to stop for a second. So the guy, the guy's in the chat saying that he wanted to scream more cowbell when he saw, because, when you have the sickness, there's only one thing that'll fix it, and that's more
More
cowbell.
cowbell.
But
Man.
what I started to say is this match was exactly what you hoped it would be. Damo gave Justin all he could handle. It was a, how did JR say it? It was a slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker.
Why you make your face like that? That's just rude.
Uh,
Why would you do that to JR? Rude. Y'all don't pay attention to him. He's shame.
I'm sorry.
18 for one day and cracking on JR.
Yeah, legit imitation.
Clip it.
Well, they went into a great fight, and it looked like to me that Justin had this one fixing to get the pin. The ref says, "Whoa!"
Cuts the match off.
Time limit reached. Not happy about this. This is not the way you want to see a match end, and Justin made that clear. Justin Taylor, truly a man of the people, says Leverland does not want to see this end in a time, doesn't end in a draw. They want to see a winner to this match. They paid their money. They deserve to see a winner of this match. So I say we go into sudden death. First pinfall or first submission wins the match.
So after this great clash of titans that was just there, I've used that analogy. I'm realizing a lot now, but it was they're just these two very talented athletes going at each other with just so much like strength. We were ready to see Damo agree. Like we were all hyped, like, oh man, this is going to be crazy.
And this man gets in the ring, grabs the mic and says, is that what you want? Is that what you think that Leverland deserves? You know what? They do deserve that. They paid their hard-earned money to watch us wrestle, and I think they should get with management because I was paid to wrestle one match, and I already wrestled it.
Yep, and then just
Walks off.
So, oh man,
straight up walks
We was
off.
mad.
Says the crowd was letting him have it.
Head games, what it's called. Exactly what that was. Damo just really doing that. And a great spot that they had during the match was, Justin Taylor's big thing is he's waving his flag around. Well, we got to the point where Damo knocked down Justin Taylor, grabbed up his flag, started waving it around. Justin Taylor then got Damo knocked down, grabbed his cowbell, started waving it all around.
Oh, it was awesome. And I'm going to throw it out there one more time. If you go over to the BCW Pro Wrestling Facebook page, Jay Conrad Photography got awesome pictures of that. Like
My
there's
favorite
some
picture.
great pictures of Damo with the flag. There's good pictures of Justin with the bull rope. Go check it out because it was awesome.
My favorite
Justin-
picture from the collections with that set.
Bull
So
rope.
y'all, what was that?
Justin wouldn't have played with the bull rope. He'd had enough time to get the 1, 2, 3.
Not to take it all the way back, but if you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Get the horns. So the announcement that Mike came and made was, came talking to the crowd. I know that you guys all want to see this. So one, Justin Taylor and one, Damo McCullum, both of these men are going to be in that multi-man match on Hot Blooded July 1st.
Which sets that match like this: Emilio Guzman, Gabriel Alexander, Damo McCullough, and Justin Taylor. A fatal four-way for number one contendership. So Hot Blooded on July 1st is going to be insane. Now, one of the things I left out on the Scar match, and it's been a couple of weeks, and I think I've had some sleep since then. I don't know for sure.
Maybe.
But one of the things I left out after Scar won the match, Mac the Franchise decided to make his way back out and just laid out Scar. Beating on him, got him out of the ring, and is like, come on, let's go. So one of the things Mike let everybody know is that July 1st at Hot Blooded, Scar ain't got nothing to do. Mac the Franchise ain't got nothing to do. Well, they do now.
Yep.
So July 1st, Hot Blooded, you get Scar versus Mac the Franchise, not in a bear hug challenge, but in a match. And that one in and of itself is going to be great.
It's two just straight powerhouses against each other. But I think, and Mac and Scar have had their history. So it's going to be a pretty wild match.
So before we talk about the main event, because I know that's what everybody wants to talk about.
Yes.
Before we talk about the main event, again, want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. Thank you to everybody in the chat. If you haven't done it yet, go hit the follow, hit the subscribe, all the, do the hokey pokey, all the things. Go do all the things.
That's what it's all about.
So before the match happened, we're sitting there, we're getting ready for our main event, which of course is a triple threat match between the wild card Jed Bingham, Ryan Justice, and Logan Knight. We are joined at our podcast station by the one and only Damo McCullough.
Oh, man.
This conversation. So Damo McCullough makes it known that he has an impeccable record, has never been beaten at B.C.W. So I brought it to his attention that while that could be a very true statement, some would say he's never won either. And he said that he had never been beaten. As far as he can tell, that's perfect. He doesn't know what's better than perfect, but, he doesn't know what I want from him. So we told him about the winner of the match is going to go against Ring of Honor talent Sledge.
Oh.
And he asked, who's Sledge? So I explained to him that Sledge is from Ring of Honor, and he's going to be taking on the winner of the triple threat match. He says, well, is he more handsome than I am? I said, well, he's every bit as big as you are. To which he said, well, that tells me what I need to know. He's not more handsome than me. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. This guy, when I say that the charisma on this guy is insane, if you haven't seen it yet, our podcast live from the B.C.W show is on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube, look up Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast, and it'll be there for you to watch.
I'm telling y'all.
It's towards the end of the show, but you'll see Damo up there with us and hear him talk with us.
To check out nothing else, please go to that YouTube, go to the VOD, and look at just that whole match with the commentation from Damo and us. Oh, man.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
I'm not gonna
so lit. Oh, man.
I'm not going to say that Logan Knight got called confetti pants, but Logan Knight got called confetti pants.
He did the whole match up? He sat up there for the whole match?
He was up there for quite a bit of it. He didn't stay for the whole thing, but he was up there for quite a bit of it.
Good while of it, for sure.
So this main event match, we talked about it. We waited for it. We even had Wildcard and Ryan Justice on the podcast to go one-on-one on the mic. And it was finally time. And this match did not disappoint.
Oh, my gosh.
Once we got everybody in the ring, it was... So let me start it like this. You remember the podcast where Ryan and Wildcard were talking to each other? Well, Logan Knight found out what they were talking about because they were fighting over who got to beat up Logan Knight. It was Ryan Justice is wailing on Logan Knight in the corner, and Wildcard pulls him out of the corner so he can wail on Logan Knight. So they're fighting with each other over who gets to fight with Logan Knight. Logan got a good welcome to West Texas Championship Wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Really gave him the old 1-2. And then afterwards, they started, Ryan and Jeb started really scuffling because Logan Knight got knocked out of the ring. And, they were really going at it. This is what the match should have been. So they had that, moment of realization. They were like, this is how it's supposed to be. Had a good clash. Then Wild Card kind of took over Jeb, and then he brought out a whole trash can lid.
Oh, he didn't just bring out a whole trash can lid.
Followed by a trash can, and he pulled out a table.
Well, and before we talk about that table, you might remember that there was a certain somebody on our podcast that had made mention of who would it be that would put Logan Knight through a table if it was brought. Well, it was brought.
That's my bad. That's on me.
There was so Logan, whenever you get to see us again, yeah, that was on us. My bad. That was this guy right here.
Him, not me.
But so it was kind of funny because I believe it was Wild Card. No, it was Ryan came down. Ryan Justice came down and pulled the table out, started to set it up, and Logan Knight comes around the corner and just kicks him square in the face, knocks him down, and goes, no, we're not doing tables. Throws it back under the ring, says, get back under there. And starts to get in the ring and gets hit in the head with the aforementioned trash can lid, followed by the trash can.
Yeah, started kind of spinning around. He was like, oh, man, that kind of hurt. Boom, trash can to the noggin.
Now, when I say that, like having the Macho Man Chris Wolf out there was very good for me. There was something that I really wish Little Guapo could have been there for, because it's a throwback, in my opinion, to the Attitude Era days. Because said trash can that was being used to beat upon Logan Knight got placed on Logan Knight. And they were taking turns just beating him up in the trash can, and it was great.
That's like definitely an Attitude Era move, followed by another one where cooking sheets were brought into the mix.
Oh, yes.
And somehow Wild Card, I guess, just was starting to go too crazy, pulled out 3 of them. So Wild Card starts wailing on Logan Knight with a cooking pan, and then Ryan starts wailing on Wild Card with a cooking pan, and Logan's like, wait a minute, there's a cooking pan. They all start hitting each other with it.
It's like Ryan hits Logan, Logan hits Wild Card hits Ryan, and back and forth, and they're just beating each other.
Bink, and they all fall to the ground.
So the table finally makes its way into the ring. And we've talked about it before on a previous episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling podcast. Logan Knight bringing it back, catches, was it Ryan or Wild Card? It was Ryan. Catches him square off with the Schmeckel bar.
Oh, man, the prize patented Schmeckel bar.
I saw the match on Facebook. He got both of them in the nards.
Oh, no, he got them both. He threw the Schmeckel bar at Ryan. Wild Card's coming up from behind. He gives him the mule kick right to the nuts.
And then both of them, Ryan, Wild Card on the table.
They got Ryan.
Heads up to the turn.
He's got Ryan laid out on the table, has Wild Card leaned over the table, and steps up into the turnbuckle. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So he steps up into the turnbuckle, and then we just see Ryan push Wild Card off. And while Logan Knight's trying to turn around to get ready to do this splash, Ryan catches him, gets an arm around him, and they start.
It looks like this. Put your arm right. So if I'm Logan Knight, I'm sitting here doing this, and he's punching. Ryan's punching Logan in the face. Well, Wild Card doesn't like to be left out. He never has. So he jumps up on the other side. And so all 3 of them are up in the corner. Elbows are flying, fists are flying.
And guess what's still on the mat? Yeah,
guess what's still right behind them? Yeah, that table that Little Guapo might or may or may not have.
I'm sorry. Not sorry.
It's still behind. It's still behind them. And Ryan looks at Wild Card. Wild Card looks at Ryan, and they grab Logan Knight. It's like a double Russian leg sweep. All 3 of them go back through the table, and Wild Card said here in the chat, he's got a nice little scratch that came from that table. And when I tell you that when they hit, the table exploded. I mean, pieces went everywhere.
Oh yeah, it shattered pretty bad. So yeah, and that little nice scratch that he's got to remember it by. If y'all watch the YouTube video of that match, nasty gash just all the way, like from pec to hip. It was just, oh man.
Yeah, Jeb was not happy with Wild Card after that match, and if you look at it on the YouTube, he discusses that and shows that gnarly scratch. And so they go through the table. When it's all said and done, when the wood stops flying, the smoke clears, wild card Jeb Bingham gets the 1, 2, 3, and is still your B.C.W Texas champion. And one of the funniest things I thought I saw was at the beginning of this match. Of course, Bruss had the wild card mask on, yelling and screaming. Logan Knight turns around and looks right at him and goes, "You mark."
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty
That
cool.
was funny stuff. Oh man, I'm telling you, you guys are missing a show of just straight talent. You know, having that interaction from Logan Knight, having the interaction we had with Damo and Mike coming up and talking with us. Oh man, it was great. You know, it's just great stuff that those guys do down there. So especially the 20th.
Josh said you're a traitor.
Me?
I'll say
Yeah, that's the other thing that Logan said. He called you a mark and then called you a traitor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that being said, with wild card Jeb, the wild card Jeb Bingham still being your BCW Texas champ, that sets up July 1st. This is what we have so far, and there will be more matches added. But what we have so far is we've got Scar and Mac the Franchise, two great big old guys. This is going to be such a good match. They're going to need to reinforce the ring on that one because both of them like to throw people around. You've got a 4-way match. Emilio Guzman versus Gabriel Alexander versus Damo McCullough versus Justin Taylor for #1 contendership to the BCW Texas title. You've got Alton Black and Damian Blood in a no-holds-barred match that is going to, for lack of better terms, be scary as hell because these two it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah, hell man, it's going to get wild.
And then, of course, you have the wild card Jeb Bingham versus Ring of Honor talent Sledge. Now,
he said it's going to be his second time or third time?
Yes.
that's going to be a second
Second
time
time.
facing Sledge. And, there's a little bit of redemption that needs to go on there. So it's going to be a match to see. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen at Hot Blooded or not, but I will say that whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way is going to have their hands completely full with either the wild card Jeb Bingham or Sledge, because the winner of that match is going against the champ.
Yeah, so it's some scary people.
Yeah.
And my personal prediction, I think for who's going to win, I'm going to probably give it to Justin Taylor. But
See that?
who I want to win, I want to see Damo up there. I'll keep it a buck. Like, hate the guy, really. He's, like, so messed up, but, like, I love him at the same time. I want to see him succeed.
Why did Logan call you a traitor? You literally, like, before we even had Jeb and Ryan on the podcast, said that you were rocking with Wildcard. Like 3 before. How are you a traitor?
It was your spirit that he was yelling at.
Okay.
When he said Logan.
I had it clarified for me. The champ's here in the chat and says the #1 contender gets a shot at either him or Sledge, whoever wins that match on the show after Hot Blooded.
Oh, you shouldn't have sent the Sledge part. That was great. The #1 contender gets a shot at me next show after.
He ain't conceded. He's convinced.
Exactly.
That's what that is. So all in all, Head Games was an absolute banger of a show.
W.
Enjoyed every single minute of it. We appreciate all the talent for the show. We appreciate all of the people that came out. We appreciate Mike letting us come do the show live. And we enjoyed every bit of it. So now we have to rate the show.
All right. This one's going to be kind of a hot take right here. Oh,
Hold on.
holding horses.
I give it a solid 10 based off of hearsay.
A solid what?
10 based off of hearsay.
So I give it a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's y'all know what that's from. I ain't gotta tell you. You know what that's from. I give it a 10. I want to get 10.
So for me, I'm kind of gonna be a hot take here. But I'm saying that the head game show from B.C.W Wrestling, in terms of just the talent in the ring and around the ring, better than this year's WrestleMania.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
It had to be done.
Okay. I'm going to say this show, BCW Pro Wrestling's Head Games, I'm going to give it, I mean, it's what?
Yeah.
It's S plus. I mean,
Gibberish.
there's no way to get around it. I was going to give it just an S because the only thing that can top it is going to be Hot Blooded on July 1st.
That's what I'm saying.
So I want to give it an S, but I can't not give this an S plus because this show was outstanding.
And guys, if you don't think we know what we're talking about, or you're considering going to these independent wrestling,
And you're a mark and you're a traitor.
you need to go to Hot Blooded, because what we're talking about right now, the S plus, better than WrestleMania, 10 out of 10, is coming from the show that we've seen, and that we know that the card is going to be even more stacked on Hot Blooded. So y'all have got to come and see that.
I'll
And-
say so.
Go ahead.
Bruss, whenever his first, independent show was the Squared Circle Pro Spring Break show, and going into it, he did not know what to expect. He was kind of like, we're going to the show, and by the time we left, he was absolutely just dumbfounded. And then you hear him talking about it now. Like, if you got any doubts, you just need to go see it, and I promise you'll love it.
It's really just top-notch entertainment.
I was talking to Josh about this earlier today. The problem you have is in a group that's not familiar with it, if I say West Texas Independent Wrestling, the first thing that comes to people's minds is, well, that's not WWE. Well, no, it's not WWE. As a matter of fact, in a lot of ways, it's better because these people do it because they love wrestling.
I'm telling you guys, if you feel like you haven't reached the status of not being an average mark, that is just fine. And if you're noticing something, we're not really even going that much in depth about the match in terms of the storyline side and why they were booked this way. We're just talking about the pure entertainment value, because that was just so exceedingly beautiful. So y'all need to come to this July 1st.
Oh, absolutely. We want to see every one of you at Hot Blooded. And not only do you get the matches that we're talking about, that triple threat match was insane. But as soon as that triple threat match is over, and after a portion of time that Jeb has to have a little talk with Wildcard because Wildcard did some craziness, he came up there to talk to us. He came to talk to us. He came to talk with us, to you, about what's going on. And it's things you just don't see in the bigger shows. And it's something that we as a podcast appreciate from Rick and from Mike and from all of the talent for allowing us to be a part of that.
I can see that rating right there.
Yeah, Seraph in the chat with, I give it a solid A, had a lot of fun, but still room to grow.
We'll see you around, Rick.
All right, Rick bouncing out. Rick, we'll see you on Saturday at Jake's for the Tornado, the Squared Circle Pro Tornado Slam.
Not Tornado Jam.
Tornado Slam.
I will not be there, and I want to apologize for that again. But y'all go in my leeway, because that show, oh man, it's stacked. Y'all gotta let me know what happens with Daniel.
I'll be texting you throughout.
Yeah.
You'll know what's going on. But again, it's an honor for us to be able to bring all of this about West Texas Independent Wrestling to everybody. So again, thank you to the champ. Thank you to Wildcard Jeb Bingham for being on the show with us tonight, being in the chat, letting us know about things. We look forward to seeing you on July 1st. We look forward to being at
Saturday.
Well, yeah, that's right.
See a couple of y'all.
That's right. Jeb's going to be in a match there at Tornado Slam for Squared Circle Pro. He's going to leave Wildcard at home because Wildcard, He's in a timeout right
on
now.
one right now.
He's in time. He's in a timeout right now, so he's going to stay at home. But yeah, Jeb going to be going for that. Which one was it? It's the Heck Yeah Radio pay-per-view championship. So
Ready to double up on the gold.
Champ, good luck to you on that. As we're coming up on that, where we at? We're at 9:15 right now. We'll go ahead and start throwing out some final thoughts.
All right, my final thoughts on it. Independent wrestling, at least in this Loveland area, I don't know if we're just spoiled, but it is just so amazing. Yeah, if y'all just need to come and watch it. If y'all are watching this podcast, y'all need to go watch that. Like that's just how it is. Great show from B.C.W. I mean, like I was telling all the talent, I have not seen something like that since those little disc sets from like Attitude Era. Like that's the stuff that I'm just like, man. So I'm really excited for Hot Blooded. I'm sad I'm not going to get to see Tornado Slam because I know a slew of great names in there as well. So my final thoughts, great stuff all around.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I misspoke, and Jeb got me the right information here. It's gonna be the match between Draven Reeves, Chris Watson, and Jeb Bingham is actually a number one contenders match to see who gets to go for the Heck Yeah Radio pay-per-view title, which I believe Gino Rivera has right now, if I'm not mistaken.
And we'll get a confirmation on that here in a second.
But
any of y'all are interested, go. Yes, you were right. Go to the chat. We have the official tagline for Tornado Slam. So y'all use that information. Go get you a ticket.
It'll be out on our socials. It's on Squared Circle Pro's socials as well.
We will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there. You're going to be in Florida with doing Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
So we'll go to you, Little Guapo. What's your final thoughts on everything?
If you have, again, like Bruce said, if you're watching this podcast and you have not gone to watch an independent show, go to Jake's on Saturday. I promise you will not be disappointed. You don't even have to, like Bruce said, you don't have to really know what's going on to be entertained. You know, there's at the last one, my buddy Matt showed up and had no idea what was going on, but he had so much fun. Like, he thought the matches were awesome. And I promise you, if you enjoy wrestling, you will enjoy that. You just go check it out. Big scene in this area. Lots of fun things going on. WWE, AEW, independence. It's just a great time for wrestling right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
Something to touch on about the people that really enjoy it. Jay Conrad Photo, our friend Josh. I came and talked to him after the show. I was like, hey man, are you going to be at the next one? Still taking pictures? And it was like, even if I'm not taking pictures, I'm definitely going to make sure I got my ticket locked in. So, I mean, that's
exactly. I mean,
first evidence right there with him and Matt.
Well, my final thought on this is going to be Jerry Springer-ish. You know, when we started this podcast, it was just supposed to be a little thing where we talk about wrestling. Me and my sons get together and we get to talk about wrestling, and it's turned into something that is so much more and so much more fun.
It really is.
I mean, we're the three of us are getting to experience West Texas independent wrestling in a way that nobody else really gets to. And I'm not going to speak for the boys. I'll let them speak for themselves, but I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah,
100%.
I think this is turned into something beautiful right now. Look,
I mean, look
at all these little dudes back here, man.
We got wrestlers all behind us and everything, but
we literally have the BCW champ in our chat right now, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we literally
so cool.
We literally have the champ in the chat with us.
We just had the owner of freaking Square Circle Pro.
Yeah, I mean, it's
really nice to have this.
You guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much for letting us do that.
Yeah, we've had Rick in here who runs Squared Circle Pro. We've had Mike in here that runs B.C.W. We've got the champ in here. I mean,
And-
like Little Guapo said, we appreciate that you guys let us come along on this crazy ride that is wrestling.
And for the rest of y'all that we're not naming out by name, our apologies, but you guys have really made this possible as well. That, having everyone coming back and showing the support that y'all have for this, so that we can keep doing things with the champ, the wild card, Jed Beam.
So that being said, we will be at Tornado Slam Saturday night. We will be back here next Thursday to talk all about it, all things wrestling.
So sometime this month we need to get with Rick and we need to do some of our fantasy booking, like spend an episode doing.
You're right.
Absolutely.
That's another.
Nope.
month.
That's going to be, we're going to have our Thursday show, but we're going to have an extra show one week where if you watched a couple of episodes, maybe 3 episodes back, we did a fantasy draft with Rick before the draft actually happened. And we're considering
similar.
it was
Yeah.
very oddly similar.
Except
And
we can flip the brands.
Yeah, exactly. You got to flip the whole thing.
well, what we're considering doing is booking a show with our new rosters. Another thing that to be looking to come up with is we're going to start interviewing a bit. We're going to start getting the wild card Jeb Bingham on here to talk to us. We're going to start getting Ryan Justice and your Tino Valentino and Damo McCullough and Scar. We want them to come on the show and talk with us. So we're going to be doing more of that.
A lot going on with this. So
We're growing. You guys are growing with us. We appreciate it. With that, I guess we'll go ahead and throw it out there. This has been our podcast. We are not your average marks. We'll see y'all Saturday and catch you back here on Twitch next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah.